Well, I didn't like that. I'm not going to learn much here. So when I finished my sophomore year, I went off and joined a circus.
Even Hollywood legends had enemies, and Burt Lancaster was no exception. Known for his charisma, discipline, and towering presence on screen, Lancaster was admired by audiences worldwide. But behind the scenes, he wasn't afraid to let people know exactly how he felt. Before his death, he shocked fans by revealing the names of several co-stars he simply could not stand working with. From clashing egos to creative differences, his rivalries reveal the darker side of Tinseltown that most people never got to see. One of the most explosive feuds came during the making of The Professionals in 1966, when Lancaster went head-to-head with Marvin. By then, Lancaster had earned a reputation for being one of Hollywood's most disciplined stars. He valued punctuality, professionalism, and physical fitness, and expected the same from everyone around him. Marvin, on the other hand, was a decorated World War II veteran whose rugged charm made him natural for tough guy roles. But off-screen, he was known for heavy drinking, which became a major problem on set. Lancaster, who approached his work with relentless discipline, grew frustrated as Marvin's late nights often left him in less than ideal condition for the grueling desert shoot. Director Richard Brooks reportedly feared a fight might break out between the two, as the tension was that intense. Though it never turned violent, Lancaster never forgave Marvin's lack of professionalism and made it clear he would never work with him again. Another complicated relationship came with Tony Curtis. Unlike his fiery rivalries with other stars, Lancaster's dynamic with Curtis was both tense and oddly collaborative. They first worked together on Trapeze in 1956, with Lancaster playing the seasoned acrobat and Curtis as the ambitious newcomer. The roles mirrored reality. Lancaster had real-life circus experience, while Curtis was still learning the ropes. Their relationship could be tough, with Lancaster's perfectionism often intimidating Curtis. On one occasion, Curtis accidentally struck Lancaster during a scene, leading to a moment of tension. But rather than escalate, Lancaster cooled off quickly, and their working relationship survived. A year later, they reunited for Sweet Smell of Success, a film that demanded Curtis play against type as a manipulative press agent. Lancaster, who also produced the film, dominated as the tyrannical columnist J. Hunsaker. Though Lancaster's intensity sometimes overwhelmed Curtis, their partnership ultimately pushed Curtis to deliver one of the best performances of his career. Frank Sinatra was another co-star who clashed with Lancaster, most famously during From Here to Eternity in 1953. The film became a landmark in cinema history, winning 8 Oscars and rescuing Sinatra's career, but it wasn't without backstage battles. Lancaster, a man of discipline and seriousness, often grew irritated with Sinatra's looser, more ego-driven approach to acting. Sinatra poured his own personality into his role as Private Angelo Maggio, blurring the lines between actor and character. Lancaster considered it self-indulgent and disruptive to the ensemble. To make matters more volatile, Montgomery Clift and Ernest Borgnine added their own strong personalities to the mix, creating a set filled with tension. Though Sinatra went on to win the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, Lancaster never forgot their clashes and preferred to avoid working with him in the future. Perhaps Lancaster's most famous rivalry was with Kirk Douglas on screen. They were electric together in classics like Gunfight at the O.K. Corral and 7 Days in May, but off-screen, their relationship was anything but smooth. Both men were leading stars, both fiercely ambitious and both unwilling to back down. Lancaster found Douglas excessively vain, while Douglas bristled at Lancaster's controlling nature. During 7 Days in May, Lancaster pushed for a director he trusted to replace Arthur Penn, much to Douglas's frustration. Their rivalry occasionally turned cruel, with Lancaster once making a biting remark in public that left Douglas in tears. Yet, despite the bitterness, studios' new audiences loved seeing them together, and their love-hate partnership became part of their legacy. As they aged, the hostility softened into grudging respect, though their relationship remained one of Hollywood's most famous rivalries. Not all of Lancaster's relationships were rocky, however. His work with Anthony Quinn was marked by mutual admiration rather than hostility. The two start together in trapeze, with Quinn playing a mentor figure to Lancaster's acrobat. Off camera, they bonded over their shared working-class roots, their love of art, and their respect for discipline. Unlike his other collaborations, Lancaster and Quinn never let ego get in the way. They challenged each other, teased one another, and even engaged in playful athletic rivalries, but it was always within the bounds of friendship. Their partnership proved that Lancaster was capable of thriving in an environment of respect and equality. But one of Lancaster's most bitter clashes came early in his career with actress Lizabeth Scott. The two had a brief romantic history before starring together I Walk Alone in 1947. By then, their personal relationship had soured, and their lack of chemistry was obvious on set. Lancaster was stiff during intimate scenes, and during one kissing scene, his cold demeanor left Scott visibly frustrated. Matters worsened when Lancaster discovered Scott had secured her role by leveraging her relationship with producer Hal Wallace, a move that angered him deeply. He despised what he saw as favoritism in the studio system and even tried to break his contract rather than continue working under those conditions. The feud left a lasting mark on his reputation, painting him as someone unafraid to challenge studio power, even early in his career. In the end, Burt Lancaster's career was defined not just by his brilliance on screen, but also by his fiery relationships behind it. He thrived on discipline, respect, and dedication to the craft, and had little patience for those who didn't meet his standards. Some relationships, like his rivalry with Kirk Douglas, fueled unforgettable performances. Others, like his friendship with Anthony Quinn, showed his capacity for genuine camaraderie. But whether fueled by respect or resentment, these partnerships reveal a man who took his work seriously and demanded the same of everyone around him. What do you think of Burt Lancaster's rivalries and feuds? Do they change the way you see his movies? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.